Hey, yo, what the deal, my people? You know who it is. It's Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another one. And this one is Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire. What if? What if Rhaegar Targaryen defeated Robert Baratheon and won the Battle of the Trident? Now, a lot of interesting things would have went down if this took place. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop in from event to event to event and try to explain to you what I think would have happened at those spots if Rhaegar defeated Robert Baratheon. And the first spot we will start off at is the Tower of Joy. Now, the Tower of Joy is best known for Lord Eddard Stark leading his raiding party, which compiled of William Dustin, Mark Wisewell, Howland Reed, Ethan Glover, Martin Cassell, and Theo Wool, against Lord Commander Gerald Hightower, Oswald Wint, Sir Arthur Dane, as they stayed and protected Rhaegar's unborn child and Lyanna Stark. Now, this would never happen. Obviously, most of these people would not be there. The King's Guardsmen, they would still be there, because Ned Stark fought the battle at the Trident, went and listed the siege of Storm's End, went down to King's Landing, then went and found the sister, and they were still there. So I don't know how many Ravens are there. I'm going to suspect not a lot, but I believe that they would still be there waiting for a word from Rhaegar. Lyanna Stark, lying in a bed of blood, would still die the same way that she died. Now, our next stop would be King's Landing. Now, King's Landing is basically known for two different things that happen at this time. One, Jaime Lannister kills the king. Two, Tywin Lannister sacks the city. And I don't believe that any of these things happened if Rhaegar would have won the Battle of the Trident. I have to believe that a raven would have been sent to King's Landing informing the king of Rhaegar's victory. Since Tywin knew that he had fell, I have to assume that Tywin would realize he had won and would not go and try to sack the city after that. Jaime Lannister would never earn his name Kingslayer, because he was no way he would kill the king if Rhaegar won the battle at the Trident. Next up is the Siege of Storm's End. Now, the Siege of Storm's End took place near the end of Robert's Rebellion, and it is where Lord Mace Tyrell and most of his forces from the Reach besieged Storm's End for a better part of a year. The siege was lifted when Eddard Stark made Mace Tyrell dip his banners without even pulling his sword out of his sheath. And after that, Robert Baratheon commanded Stannis to build a fleet and assault Dragonstone. Unless Stannis somehow was able to dip out with Davos, as the way Davos dipped in and got him the onions. I hate to say it, but Stannis Baratheon and his whole family and Davos Seaworth would have been slaughtered. All of them killed and wiped out. And since Willis is the heir to High Garden, I would have to think that Mace Tyrell would have gave Storm's End two glories. This brings us to the battle itself. So, first I will say that anyone who was at the Tower of Joy with Ned Stark, William Dustin, Mark Wisewell, Howland Reed, Ethan Glover, Martin Cassell, Theo Wool, all would be dead or would have to bend the knee. And I think that most likely they would have been dead. I don't think they would have been allowed to bend the knee. I think Roose Bolton would have been smart enough to see the writing on the wall and dipped out. If he didn't dip out, then Roose Bolton would have definitely been killed. Lyn Corbray would have been executed and his sword taken. The late Walder Frey would have never earned that nickname because the late Walder Frey would have never shown up. Wyman Manderley, who almost died, probably would have died, and he would not have been able to give the Wolves of Den to Baramis. This brings us to good old Ned Stark. Now, we know that Rhaegar most likely would have been injured in this battle, just like Robert was injured in that battle. I don't see any way possible Rhaegar allowing anything bad to happen to Ned. I think this would have gave Rhaegar a chance to explain things to Ned, how he feels about his sister, and I think that they both would have took off for the Tower of Joy to go get his sister after this. That being said, I still don't think that you can mess with the timeline. I'm kind of like on that Flash shit, that if you mess with the timeline, somehow time wants to happen and will make a way for itself to happen. And I do believe that is what would have happened in this story. So arriving at the Tower of Joy, I do believe Rhaegar would have took his baby and then went off. I still believe the Tower of Joy would have been ripped down by Rhaegar after that, after seeing Lyanna dead in there. So in the end, I do believe that Rhaegar still would have died, because you cannot mess with the timeline. But I think this is how it would have happened. I think his father, being jealous, because Rhaegar would have came back as the most popular person in all of Westeros, putting down the rebellion, without a doubt would have received a huge bump to take over the kingdom. I think his father, being jealous of that situation, of Rhaegar's popularity, probably would have wound up killing his own son. So, if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up it. Please share this video across the realm. And you know what you gotta do? Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And shots go out to my boy John Jake, who suggested this video. So until next time, you know who it is. Peace! And stay sexy.